a encantadora e hospitaleira capital de Minas Gerais.
Boa noite and namaste. I bring you greetings from India. Actually, I wanted to come down a rope from here, but Natalia wouldn't allow that. He said, you might just fall and break the stage. So are you guys having a good time? And I want a loud response from all of you. There's some people out down there who are sleeping, definitely. That's not loud enough. Okay, so one more time. Good, now everybody is awake. All right. So what are you going to do today? Like, I believe that life is all about having fun, enjoying it every moment. You know, there's nothing to be sad about. I know, because right now I'm in a very happy position because I'm talking and you guys have to listen to me, okay? So you cannot escape. And I'll not let you sleep because I can see all of you, all right? So I would begin with a question about the greatest adventure that mankind can ever undertake. And according to me, that is marriage. So I would like to ask a question that what is one similar thing between climbing and marriage? The answer is both starts by tying a knot. Now, what is the biggest thing which differentiates marriage from climbing? In climbing, if my partner is a man, nobody will say that I am gay. Yeah? Now, why am I talking about marriage now? Like, you guys would want me to talk about climbing, right? But I thought that I'd dedicate my talk today to all my married friends here and across the globe, because according to me, that is the greatest adventure of all. Because in that, you're climbing Everest every day of your life, and I've only climbed it a couple of times. So I would call it, because according to me, marriage is Mission Impossible for me. So today we are going to view this movie called Mission Impossible 5. Tom Cruise, right? Yeah, he's not aware of this, because it has been produced here in Belo Horizonte, the most exciting city on this planet. This movie has been scripted and directed by my very dear friend Adam. Oops, I think that's a picture of his son. I'm really sorry, Adam. But you know, I think he's more cute than his dad, so we'll leave him there, all right? Now, this movie stars only one person, which is yours truly, and it's just like my real life, no lady love in this movie as well, all right? Now, Adam being Adam, he did not trust me at all. He sent me the script on mail saying, this is in Portuguese, so please mug it up and spit it out on the stage because I don't trust you. I have no idea what you're going to say. So I mugged it up, but I did not trust him either. So I put this into Google Translator and told the computer, tell me that what this is all about. And this is what the computer told me. So Adam, I'm going completely out of the script here. I'm going to follow Google Translator. Now, when I joined the Special Forces, when I was in my 20s, I thought, like, I'm Rambo, reincarnated kind of stuff. I'm going to save the world, so I joined Special Forces. First day, my instructors told this to me, and this has stayed with me for the rest of my life. Although I don't make any sense of it, even now. This is what he told me. And then Adam said this to me, that Mr. Hunt, Mission Impossible, difficult is walk in the park. So let's start with the difficult. Let's start with walk in the park. So let's look at a couple of my parks. These are my kind of parks. You know, these are the kind of parks where I take a walk. These are some of the remotest, some of the most hostile places on earth, many places where nobody has ever gone before or since that I was there. And I love being in these kind of parks because it's always exciting. I have no idea if I'm going to fall, if I'm going to live through the day, what will happen. So it's best is to enjoy every moment and be in it and just go for it. Because by staying in these kind of parks, I obviously, no doubt I don't have a girlfriend, right? Because which girl would go for a stroll in a park like this? So these are my kind of walks. These are the kind of walks that I undertake. But this is brilliantly beautiful. I always say that the world looks much, much better from the top. And people always ask me that where did that rope come from? And I say, okay, I have no idea where did this rope come from. But I'm very happy that there is a rope. Now, this is my concept of hanging out. Like we always say, you know, will you hang out with me? So like if some of the women out here is thinking of hanging out with me, like this is what's going to happen to you. Again, then Adam said that every search for something is missing. Must begin with something, and which we all require is a dream. Now, I always feel that without a dream, nothing can begin, because that is when you allow yourself to go beyond your limitations. And when you dream, my request to you is dream big, as wild, as impossible as you can think of, because dreams are free, you don't have to pay anything for it, and it's completely yours. Nobody is stopping you to do it and anything. So I was dreaming of climbing the highest mountains in the world. That's Everest from the north face, which I have done, this route. Going into the biggest of crevasses, climbing the highest unclimbed walls in the world. These were my dreams. This is from Peru, Bolivia, Peruvian Andes. And walking like this on the edge without any rope, so that I never know will I fall on the left side or on the right side. So it's always exciting, if you don't know. Like, I love my ignorance. I know nothing about anything, all right? And that's why I love my life, because I don't know what's going to happen next. I feel God's existence is extremely boring because he knows everything, okay? This is taken from North Pole on my journey towards the pole. And I've always dreamt of going to places where no man has ever gone before. But my purpose has always been to find my true self, my soul, what I'm really looking for. Well, I'm still looking, that's why I'm in Belo Horizonte, still looking my soul, myself. This is my philosophy. I don't think that many people will not agree to it. But if you have any problems ever in life, just go and climb a mountain, you will find the answers. Because the answer will come from within. And when you live in a place like this where any moment could be your last, you really start asking yourself the questions, the kind of questions that you should be asking in normal life as well. We are looking vertically down, so we are actually hanging by the side of a very steep wall. And you got to be crazy to be doing something like this. So like, I know I'm very stupid. I'm like, I don't have brains. If I had, I wouldn't do these kind of things. So this is not really the healthiest of activities one can do. This again, I feel that as long as we stay within our comfort zone, within our similar world, we never really experience the beauty of this world. We got to go out and do something, experiment with ourselves to begin with, challenge ourselves, and then only we'll see the real beauty of the world. And believe me, I have pretty much traveled all over the world in almost every country that you can think of, which has mountains, of course. So obviously, I've never been to Cuba, and I don't want to go there. So when you go here, you'll suddenly realize that you have this amazing world, and it's yours, okay? You're not Brazilian, I'm not Indian, you're not American. We belong to this planet. And you suddenly feel that, yes, it's worth fighting for. Exactly what Sarah is doing, exactly like a lot of people here are doing, like the chief is doing. It's absolutely worth fighting for. Let's fight it. We've got to preserve it. Because we got this as a gift from our ancestors, and it's our duty, responsibility to give this to our next generation. This is from inside a crevasse. I always talk about this picture because I fell into this crevasse. I was bleeding very badly. I was lying like this. I knew I'm going to die because nobody knew where I'd fallen. And suddenly I looked up, I said, oh wow, what can I do at this moment? Well, Satya, you can take a picture of this beautiful thing because you'll never be in this situation ever again in my life. So there you are. So that's what making the most of the time, being in the moment. Okay? This is very important, which kind of propels me always. Like people ask me, you have done everything that human can possibly do in the mountains. What next? Obviously, there's something next because the more I climb, more I find out that how much more there is to climb. It's like knowledge. More I know. Of course, I know nothing, but for somebody, more you know, you realize how little you know. So it's kind of a motivation to go beyond, keep going on and on. Okay, mind is like a Swiss knife because it can do everything, and it comes with a brochure which nobody reads. So I think mind is like, I love to fail. I love my failures. I keep falling. I've broken every part of my body. I've had stitches all over myself. Because I feel that if I'm not failing, I'm not really trying something hard enough. Constantly staying within my comfort zone, constantly getting grade A in school. Well, I've never been to school and college, so that's not a part of my life. But constantly doing good, excelling in whatever I do, it does not mean that I'm really good. It just means that I'm limiting myself to this red circle, okay, because well, Natalia has told me I better not step out of this and somebody's going to shoot me from the back, so I'll stay here. But otherwise in my life, I'm constantly stepping out of it, all right? And that's important because it does not mean that every time you succeed, it does not mean you're good. Challenge yourself, find out for yourself. You have no idea how strong you are, okay? And these are my kind of the ways that I challenge myself constantly, always, all the time. This again, you might think I'm a sadist or a masochist, but it's not true, believe me. After a hard day's work, a small cup of tea would seem like a God's gift. Now, this is my kind of suffering that I go through willingly, and believe me, I suffer. It's not that I enjoy this, it's really, really bad. But at the end of the day, I'm happy. I can tell myself, look back, yes, I did it, It's a great sense of achievement. It's a great sense of doing something. Actually, all of you are climbing Everest. It's not only I who climb Everest, and this is because everybody has an Everest. Your Everest could be, like for Erica, it could be building a school in Guatemala, right? And I have no logical way of saying that your Everest is lesser or smaller than mine. It is actually a bigger challenge because on Everest nobody is really resisting me. I'm just going up, and here there could be a lot of people resisting your effort. And we all climb it in our own style, and all styles are fine. Now, when I was in school, I was never in school, but somebody told me that the shortest distance between point A and B is a straight line. And that's the way I like to climb because I'm a very lazy person, believe me. My favorite pastime is sleeping and dreaming. That's what I do. So I like to take the shortest route, and believe me, it is always the easier route, all right? Seriously. So these have been a couple of my climbs where I've gone up in a straight line as far as possible. And this is good, if I don't like my partner, I can drop something on him and kill him then and there. So it kind of serves both the purpose. And here I'm climbing without a rope, which is the craziest kind of thing. And I didn't see that there was a big chunk of ice on top of me. And this, my friend, he was happily taking my picture instead of telling me, Satya, get out of the way. So he was obviously like me, or maybe he wanted me dead. It could be anything. This is a very important lesson in life. We tend to rush. We tend to rush into everything, but we have got to remember that nothing in life can be achieved without taking that one step. We are not long jumpers. You cannot jump across hurdles. Okay, we can do it in Olympics perhaps, but not in real life. In real life, everything has to be built step by step. And believe me, every step is important. I cannot say that my first step was most important or the second step. Now, these are a couple of my steps that I take, but I'm sure they are as challenging as any of you in your life, in whatever you do. But always remember, don't worry. If this step is difficult, just take it. Because even if you're about to die, just imagine the situation that you are absolutely down and out, you've collapsed on ground, you're dehydrated or whatever. You just tell yourself, I don't want to reach there. All I want to do at this point of time is take one step. And believe me, if there is still one bit of breath left in you, you will be able to take a step. Okay? You may not be able to reach there, but at least you'll reach here, which is better than being here. So life has to be dealt step by step. Forget about the final goal. Forget about the top of the mountain. I never look up or don't ever. All my point is just to take the next step. That's it. And anybody can do it under any situation, under any circumstances. You can take the next step. And that's very important. But obviously, these are my kind of steps where I'm taking one step at a time, just like a baby Tian is right now. This is very important. Ask yourself, when somebody tells you that this is impossible, how does he know? He's not God. How do you know that this is impossible for you? Who has told you this? Challenge yourself. Ask yourself, how can you reason say this is impossible for me? No ways. You're not God. You don't know anything. Least of all, the biggest stranger in this life is actually yourself. We really do not know what lies inside. So, if somebody tells you this is impossible, say, are you God? If you are, then it's okay. Otherwise, get lost. Okay, I don't believe you. So these are some of my ways of finding out what is impossible. But yes, I'm not saying that I don't fall. I fall all the time. I have collapsed. In fact, I think soon after this one or maybe the next one, on this I was climbing in Slovenia. Just after the shot was taken, I collapsed with about 30 meters of ice column on top of me. It was completely red, and they thought that I'm completely gone. But well, here I am in front of you. Think about this. The more options we have, I think we tend to underperform. Because I'm not doing my best, because I know I have a fallback option, right? Like if I'm standing here, I know if I take one more step, I'm going to fall off this stage, but I'll not really fall far. Okay, so I have this option. But let's say if this edge is like 2,000 meters high, can I take that step? I don't have an option, right? The stepping down is not an option for me anymore. So I have to stay here, come what may. So this is really good, and sometimes in life it really brings the best out of you, because the more we think of failure, the more we think of, oh, I can do that. Okay, if A doesn't work out, I'll go for B. For me, options are very simple. Like, let's say a situation like this. I know if I do it, I'll live. If I don't do it, I'll die. So for me, life is very simple. Yes, I live. No, I die. So obviously, I never say no to anything. So if you could treat life like that, I'm not saying that you have to go to an edge like that, like... my knees were actually shaking on that edge. But it's nice at times just to tell yourself that I don't have any option. Okay? And then you really come out. Now we often rush towards the goal. But I think it's the journey which is important, and Christopher has brought that out wonderfully. It's the journey. For me, it's always the journey. It's the climb. It doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter where I reach. Because wherever I reach is my summit. It may not be the summit of the mountain, but it's my summit. So I'm fine with it. I'm not rushing. You got to stop. You got to enjoy. Because even if I reach the summit, let's say my longest stay on Everest so far has been about 40 minutes. And that was because I reached the top and I slept off. Okay? I actually went off to sleep on top of Everest. Suddenly I woke up, it was 40 minutes. But that's it. But whereas the entire climb has taken me about 45 days. So which is more, the summit or the journey? And that's what we all are doing right now. We are always reaching from place A to place B. We are never really at a place. So this is what you have to enjoy. It's not that what is going to happen next, whether will I reach the top or not, what will happen to me. It doesn't matter. Enjoy the climb because that is life. And I always say that life is synonymous with climb, and life is a climb, yes, and climb is very, very big struggle. We are huffing and puffing. But the rewards, the view is great. And I would love to do this, So living life is great an experience. I love to experiment, I love to challenge, go out there and do it. Now what is impossible today may not be impossible tomorrow. I totally believe in this, and that's where it connects me back to my instructor in the Special Forces who said the difficult we do immediately, impossible takes a little time. So just give yourself some time, be tolerant with yourself, and your impossible will become possible. Believe me, it will. There's nothing called impossible in this world. Absolutely nothing. And these are my ways of proving to myself that things are not really impossible. But I have my own journeys, you have your own, and I'm not saying that yours is any way less dangerous or less fatal than mine, or that I'm doing something great and you're not. I mean, we all are, because our all journeys are fantastic. And this is a real take which I've already realized, that things are only impossible until they are not. Because one day it will not be impossible. Like, who had ever thought that we would have one day something like a mobile phone? I mean, when I was a child, I would, if somebody said somebody's like this, I would have said impossible, right? But today we all have mobile phone. Now we have got this Google Android application, blah, blah, blah. I mean, goodness, I'm astonished even now that, is it possible? Is it some kind of wizardry or something like that? So one day, believe me, it will become. So it is only impossible till it is not. As simple as that. So you can see this, and I can tell you with full confidence that if there's anybody in this audience who thinks that he cannot be there in place of me, you are wrong. You can be. You can be, and you don't need me for doing that. It's all within you. Unleash yourself, because impossible is only a state of mind. And why I love this word impossible is because within the word itself lies the possibility. Now see how it reads. It is impossible, but it is I am possible. And yes, I am somewhere there on this ridge somewhere, yeah? I don't know where, but I'm there. So I would like to leave you with this thought of mine, which is keep dreaming. For that, you'll have to keep sleeping like me and never stop exploring. Obrigado. That's a trick photograph. He was lying like this, so I've made it like. And Adam said this presentation will self-destruct in 5 seconds, so let's run from here, right? Thank you. Obrigado.